16 gigabytes versus 32 gigabytes. We're testing it in this video in a way that's not been done on YouTube, at least not that I've seen. So if someone else has done it, sorry. I didn't mean to make a bold statement like that, but I've watched several videos over the last 2 weeks, and I wanna know how much RAM gamers actually need and things gamers actually do. Now, we can't test every possible scenario that there is for gaming, but I wanted to take some popular scenarios that are different than what I've seen in those other videos. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So most of the videos that I've watched on YouTube, they've mainly focused on gaming performance with, 16 gigs or 32 gigs of RAM, but they did not take into consideration other things that gamers do while they're playing on their PCs, such as having Discord open or listening to music, watching a YouTube video, something of that nature. So what I wanted to do was put those types of things to the test. Now, there was one video that talked about having a bunch of Excel tabs open and a bunch of other programs open, and I just don't think that's a realistic scenario for most gamers out there, because if you're gonna work, you're probably gonna work, and if you're gonna game, probably gonna game. I'm sure there's a few people out there that try to game and work at the same time if you work from home, but not probably that many, because most people want to keep their jobs. But either way, I know there's a few people out there, so I can't account for every situation. But I can account for our sponsor Ugreen keeping all my devices charged.
Ugreen's Uno series provides fast and fun charging accessories for the new iPhone and other tech products. They provide a very unique groovy robot design with TFT smart display designs. This robot appearance can be both cool and cute even when it's not charging, which can make a very cool desk decoration. During the charging process, TFT screen could support display of more cute emojis. And the star of the show is this 100-watt fast charger. It's not only a cool design, it packs up to 100 watts of high power through port C1 or C2, which is perfect for charging your MacBook Pro or other Apple devices swiftly. It can even charge the new iPhone 16 from 0 to 57% in 30 minutes. It comes equipped with 3 USB-C, which can charge up to 4 devices simultaneously, meeting the needs of users with multiple Apple devices. And to top it all off, it comes with a built-in thermal guard, because when something this small charges that fast, you can never be too careful. The Ugreen Uno series includes some other really cool items as well. This 15-watt 2-in-1 magnetic wireless charger, a 6-in-1 USB-C hub, and even this really cool USB-C to USB-C cable. You can check all these, including the blazing fast Ugreen Uno 100-watt charger, at the link in the description.
Now, the other scenario that I wanted to account for was dual monitors. It's becoming more and more common for people to run a dual monitor setup when they're gaming, having Discord and YouTube or music pulled up on one monitor while gaming on the other. Now, dual monitors, I know there's been some videos that talk about the performance level of FPS when it comes to dual monitors versus single monitors, and so I know that's going to take a hit, but don't worry, we've got that covered in the testing, and I'll explain once we get there. Now, as far as our RAM goes, we are using DDR5, and to be honest, it is hard to find 16 gigabytes of DDR5 memory, and that's one of the biggest arguments for why people say 32 gigs over 16 gigs, is because the price difference between 32 gigs and 16 gigs is really only like $30 to $40, depending on the brand and the speeds and things like that. But if someone's really on a budget, could you save on things like a cheaper case and cheaper RAM and put more of that money into a graphics card or a CPU to get you more FPS? Is it going to be worth it, or are you going to be trading some performance for your RAM? Now, I tried my best to make sure that for our RAM and our system here that I got as close as I could as far as CAS latency, the CL rating, I think that's how you say it, and the mega transfers per second. So we went with a 16 gigabyte kit of Corsair here. It's got a 40 CL rating and it runs at 5200 megahertz. Now, I know a lot of people say 6000 is what you should do if you're on DDR5, but I could not find a 16 gigabyte kit that ran at 6000. This was one of the best ones that I could find. So we went with 16 gigs, 5200 megahertz. Now, the RAM that we have in our system here is actually 32 gigs. It's a CL36 rating, and it can go up to 6000 megahertz. But what we're gonna do, if the system's stable and will allow it, is we're gonna set the clock speed to 5200 megahertz so they're exact same speed. I could not get the same CL rating. I looked all over Amazon and different places, and I just couldn't find two sets of RAM where one was 16 and one was 32 to get the same CL rating. So we did the best we could. And we're gonna test it in some of the popular games. We're gonna test it with both single monitor and dual monitor, and we're gonna test it gaming with Discord open, and then gaming, Discord, and YouTube. So that's kind of the test that we're gonna run here, and we will see what happens in the performance. So before we hop into the benchmarks, I do wanna go over our test system just real fast. We've got a really nice PC here that is actually some of my old PC parts, and this is the test bench we've been using in a lot of our videos here in 2024, and that is a Z690 Asus Prime motherboard with an i5-12600K. Now I did add this Corsair cooler because this was a case I had laying around that was Corsair that I wanted to put in for this video, and we've already went over the RAM, and this is an RTX 4070 non-super, so it's not the super version, and we're gonna use this for our testing. It's got 12 gigabytes of VRAM, so that's probably a little bit more than some people that, you know, use 16 gigabytes of RAM, but we still wanted to use that in our testing because I felt like it was kind of a good in-between spot. So let's go hop into our first game. Okay, so we tested 4 games at 16 gigs and 32 gigs, but just as a heads up, we tested everything with 16 gigs first, single monitor versus dual monitor, and with 16 gigabytes of RAM, there was really no difference in the dual monitor versus the single monitor. So we decided to not do single versus dual for the 32 gigs of RAM. So this 32 gig testing is only going to be dual monitor testing with background apps and without background apps. The 4 games we tested were Cyberpunk, Warzone, Fortnite, and the finals. Now, the only reason I tested the finals, even though it is a pretty popular game according to Steam, is because the Toasty Bros did a PC build not too long ago, and it showed the finals using like 20 gigabytes of RAM, which I thought was insane. So that's why I threw it in this testing. So you'll just have to see how much RAM that we saw it using in our tests. We tested Cyberpunk first, and it was by far the most disappointing of all the benchmark runs that we did because it didn't really use that much RAM at all, which I was kind of shocked by. It's a very demanding game on your VRAM, but not so much your RAM. So a better thing for us to have done was probably push the ray tracing on so it would have used more VRAM, because I've heard that if you use more VRAM and you don't have enough, then your PC might start to pull from your system memory, but we didn't push the system that far to see if that was the case. So that's on me. If you think it makes a difference, you can roast me down in the comments. But first we did our single monitor testing, no Discord, no background apps. Our FPS average was 130.69. Our 1% lows were around like 105. And our RAM usage was only like 11 and a half gigabytes. Then we opened it with Discord, and we only saw like a 1 to maybe half a gigabyte difference in the RAM usage. Our FPS average was around the same. It might have been just like slightly lower. It's like 130.01, and the 1% lows were about the same. Then hopping over to 16 gigabytes on the dual monitor setting, as you can see from the picture here, I tried to film it in between so you could see that I was actually running dual monitors. And with no background apps, just our dual monitors open, we got 130.86. 1% lows were around the same as the single monitor, and RAM usage was about the same as well. Dual monitor with Discord open, we got the same rough FPS numbers around 129.51. 1% lows were a little bit lower, and our RAM usage was still about the same as it was with the single monitor, around 12.4. Now, one test that we ran with dual monitors that we didn't run with single monitors was we also opened a tab for YouTube, or you could open this for music or anything like that. So our FPS average was around 130 in every benchmark we run until we opened a YouTube tab, which was Microsoft Edge. Now I know there are other internet browsers. Y'all probably gonna flame me for using Edge, but that's okay. It's just easier for me. But I don't like using Chrome because it eats your RAM. But either way, we lost about 8 FPS, and our 1% lows went down to like 96, and our RAM usage went up a little bit. We used a little over 13 gigs for that test. Again, remember with 32 gigs, we only did dual monitor testing, and with dual monitor with no background apps open, our FPS average with dual monitor was actually slightly higher, but it was only like 3 FPS, so that's probably within the margin of error. 1% lows were slightly higher. RAM usage was about the same, maybe slightly higher, like 11.9. 32 gigabytes with Discord open, we actually got the same FPS and the same 1% lows roughly. 103 on the 1% lows, 130.33 on the FPS average, and our RAM usage was like a little over 13, like right at 13 on the dot pretty much. And 32 gigabytes dual monitor with Discord and YouTube open, we got 123 FPS. So it dropped about the same amount, you know, 5 to 6 FPS maybe was a drop. So it's still, even though we had more RAM to pull from, it still dropped our FPS down by opening a YouTube tab, even though it was just on the side playing. And a lot of you listen to music or watch YouTube while you're gaming, and so I thought this was a good scenario to test. So 32 gigs versus 16 gigs didn't make a huge difference with Cyberpunk, but it didn't use near as much RAM as I thought it would, so let's hop on to a different game. Then we went to good old Fortnite. Now we ran the same test with Fortnite and we saw similar results, but it was just a little bit different. Fortnite definitely used more RAM than what Cyberpunk did. The default settings we used for Fortnite was DX12 performance settings, so like low settings on everything or turned off except for view distance, we put that on far. With the single monitor testing, we saw like a 20% drop in the FPS average. We got around like 250 to 260 with the single monitor, and with the single monitor with Discord open in the back, we might have saw a little bit of an FPS drop around the 220 to 230 range. It still got up to 260 at times, but we still saw some fluctuation there. But our RAM usage was pretty significant. We got over 15 gigs in both situations. It got like close to like 15 and a half gigabytes of RAM when we had Discord open. The dual monitors got us mostly the same FPS, but it used less RAM, which was kind of weird. So it looks like if it's there, Fortnite will pull it, but if it can't use it, then it's okay. We still got 250 to 260 FPS with the dual monitors with nothing else open in the background. When we opened Discord, it was pretty much the same story. We dropped like 10 to 15 FPS and 1% lows pretty much stayed the same across all testing. But then again, with dual monitors, we opened Discord and YouTube, and that's where we saw a little bit more of an FPS drop, but we still never really got super below 220. Now, Fortnite's a game where sometimes you're just gonna have FPS drops below 200, like that's just going to happen, but our average was pretty much around the 220 range the whole time, and we used anywhere from 13 gigs to 15 gigs depending on what we had going on in those 3 tests. Now 32 gigabytes of RAM in Fortnite actually did get us a slight FPS boost, and by slight I mean we went from like 250 260 to like 260 270. So $30 for 10 to 15 FPS, maybe it's worth it, I don't know. We saw the same drops though. With Discord it dropped about 10 15 FPS, Discord and YouTube another like 5 to 10 FPS. So it's totally up to you on what you think you might want to see when it comes to games like this. So far, I'm shocked by the numbers, but let me know what you think down in the comments. And now we got to try Warzone because I've seen Warzone chew through some RAM. We use the ultra preset settings, 100% render scale, but no upscale. And I just wanted to see what that was like. I was really excited for the testing, but then I was sorely disappointed because literally we got anywhere from 170 to 180 FPS in every single test that we ran. Literally the only thing that changed was the RAM usage. We used as little as 14 gigabytes of RAM when we had 16 gigs in the system, and even when we added 32 gigs of RAM, we only used around like 17 to 18 gigabytes. So literally there was hardly any difference between 16 gigs with nothing running, 16 gigs with Discord on the single monitor testing, then dual monitor testing with 16 gigs by itself, then with Discord and YouTube, we saw literally almost no change. Same thing with 32 gigs, we ran the same test. No background apps with Discord and YouTube, and it was pretty much all the same. Pretty disappointing if you ask me. Now the finals is something I was super excited about because in the finals we saw again 20 gigabytes of RAM. I just knew we were gonna have a good test here, but again I was disappointed. We actually got more FPS when we used 16 gigabytes versus 32 gigabytes, but that was definitely because of the map we were on. Some maps are more demanding than others in games that change maps, so I don't think that's a huge issue. So that's nothing to be worried about in any shape, form, or fashion. And really the only thing that changed with 16 gigs versus single monitor versus dual monitor, or 32 gigs with dual monitor with no background apps, Discord and YouTube, was the 1% lows changed a little bit, but we still never used more than 18 gigabytes of RAM, even with the 32 gigs, and we were running this thing on epic settings with ray tracing and DLSS. Overall, I thought this was a pretty good test. 16 gigabytes held up way better than I thought it would, and in fact, we're gonna build a PC that maximizes our budget using only 16 gigs of RAM, using that $30 to help us out in our GPU budget. So make sure you check out that video when it's ready. It'll be right here, but until then, there's another one for you to watch.